The Haunted Cabin. In the heart of a dense forest, there stood an old, abandoned cabin. The cabin had been deserted for years, its wooden structure rotting and its windows shattered. The villagers nearby spoke of the cabin in hushed whispers, telling tales of the horrors that lurked within. One sunny afternoon, a group of 5 friends, Alex, Brian, Claire, David, and Emily, decided to explore the forest. They had heard the stories about the haunted cabin and were curious to see if there was any truth to them. Alex, the bravest of the group, said, "Let's go check it out. What's the worst that could happen?" With their backpacks packed with essentials and their spirits high, they set off on their adventure. As they ventured deeper into the forest, the sunlight faded and the trees grew thicker. The air became colder, and an eerie silence enveloped them. After hours of trekking, they finally reached the old cabin. It looked even more sinister up close. The door creaked open with a loud groan, and a musty smell wafted out. "Are we really going in there?" Emily asked, her voice trembling. "Of course," Alex replied confidently. "We're not turning back now." Inside, the cabin was dark and dusty. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling, and the wooden floorboards creaked under their feet. As they explored the different rooms, they found old furniture covered in dust and strange symbols carved into the walls. Brian, who had a knack for history, said, "These symbols look like they belong to some ancient ritual." In the living room, David found an old, leather-bound book. Its pages were yellowed with age, and the text was written in an unknown language. "What do you think it says?" Claire asked, peering over his shoulder. "I don't know, but it gives me the creeps," David replied, closing the book hastily. As night decided to set up camp inside the cabin, they gathered some firewood and lit a small fire in the fireplace. The flickering flames cast eerie shadows on the walls, and the howling wind outside added to the unsettling atmosphere. To pass the time, they began sharing ghost stories. Alex told a tale about a vengeful spirit, while Brian recounted a story about a haunted graveyard. As each story ended, the tension in the room grew thicker. "All right, I think that's enough for tonight," Claire said, trying to lighten the mood. "Let's get some sleep." In the middle of the night, Emily woke up to the sound of strange noises coming from outside the cabin. It sounded like whispers and footsteps. She nudged Alex awake. "Do you hear that?" she whispered. Alex listened for a moment and then nodded. "Stay here. I'll go check it out," he said, grabbing a flashlight. Alex stepped outside, his flashlight casting a dim beam in the darkness. The forest was eerily quiet, except for the occasional rustle of leaves. As he walked around the cabin, he saw nothing unusual. But just as he was about to head back inside, he heard a soft, ghostly whisper in his ear. "Leave this place.